Hello, everybody. We're back again. Today we have a special guest again. And mind you, she's my silver guest. 25th. The 25th episode. How cool is that? So this is so fun. So I want to introduce to you our guest today, who is an author. And mind you, she is a self-publishing expert. So if you have a book in your mind, call her. And also, she is a transformational coach who wants to empower women to love what they do, to live the life they want. Isn't that amazing? So here, without further much ado, I want to introduce to you Andreea Billig. Hello,
Oh,
hello. How are
hi.
you?
Hi, and thank you so much for having me on your show. It's such a joy and such an honor to be here with you and your viewers, your fans, your audience. And I'm now that we are together, and it's another beautiful day in Southern
Yes,
California. It's almost like it's summertime. Yeah, it's a fantastic day to be alive.
yes, yes, yes. And life is always beautiful when shared with others.
Yes.
Yeah, and so now we're doing that. We're sharing today to the world about something that they might be interested, something that they can do, or maybe something they need that may help them one day. So to get started, Andreea, could you please tell us about yourself, just a little bit about yourself?
Oh, wow. There's so much
I
to
know
tell.
there's so much, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I really believe that when we let love, which is an energy, is basically the fabric of the universe, guide us in everything we
Mhm.
do, whether it's our relationships, whether it's our passion, our profession, our job, even when I cook a meal and when we do our dishes, then everything gets to a whole different level and everything
Right.
gets really, really beautiful. So that's something that's been driving me my whole life since I was a child. When I was 8 years old, that's when I started writing fiction. And then I always sort of followed my love, passion.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in Bucharest, Romania, and that's where I spent my youth, my childhood, my teenager, my youth, early youth. I was there. So I was at some point I was interested in I loved music and I still love music, but because I couldn't be a singer or a musician, I became a radio host and then I became a TV host. So all those things I did because I felt this calling. Let's do that. And then in 2010, I went on a spiritual journey to Brazil in Abadiania. I was still looking for my life purpose because I feel that we are all here on a mission on this earth. We all have a very specific gift or even gifts that we
Right.
are here to share. And when we aren't aware of those gifts and we live a life that's based on what other people think we should do or what we are kind of conditioned to think that we should be or do, that's why we don't find that fulfillment, no matter how many things we buy, no matter what job we get, no matter what relationship we have, something is missing. And I think that's the fact that, as you said, life is so much beautiful when we share it with other people,
Mhm.
and life becomes an amazing, and now I get the goosebumps, but it becomes such an amazing and magnificent journey when we find our gift within and we share it with other people.
Yes. And
So
you are so right, though. I want to point out what you said, that something is missing. And a lot of people tend to ignore it.
mhm,
And they
yeah,
wonder, why is it I'm not happy? Why is it I'm not fulfilled? Because there's something missing. And like you said, if you go by love, journey with love in your heart, you will never go wrong.
Yeah.
Because that's the best thing in this world, to have love yourself, for others, you know. So yeah, I just want to point that out. And
Yeah.
so go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, the love, the thing about love is that, again, we are kind of you know, the movies and the music and the books usually, I mean, novels and poems and those kind of books, you know, they always point us outside, outward. So they say we are conditioned to believe that love is something to be found
Mhm.
um, outside. So we need to find love in a person, in somebody else, when actually love is within us. So the
Yeah.
first place to find love is within ourselves, and from there we will kind of manifest love in the
Mhm.
outer love through a person, or a business we love, or a job we love, or anything like that.
Yeah.
um, but to go back to my story, um, so I went to Abadiania and I was like, what's my life purpose? I need to know what's my life purpose. And then I've been putting aside writing, fiction writing, for several years. But
Mhm.
then when I returned to Romania, I started a blog, and I would just sit in front of my computer and I would have all these, you know, like words coming to me, like a download, and I started writing short stories.
Mhm.
And lo and behold, a former radio co-worker who lived in London, he finds my blog and he reads those stories, and he's not a critic, and, you know, like a literary critic. And I think that the audience, the readers, are the ultimate critic. You
Right.
need
Right.
to speak to their hearts. And
Mhm.
so, and he says, you know, I think you have something here. And because Romania is a small country, it's a small book market, he said, you should come to London, to the London Book Fair, and look for a literary agent, because, you know, to get a traditional publisher, in
Right.
theory, you need to have a literary agent. So imagine,
Right.
I was living in Romania. English wasn't my first language. It's something that I learned basically throughout my life: elementary school, high school,
Uh-huh.
university. But I said, you know, I spent all these years learning this language, and now I can actually use it for noble purpose, because I think, you know, authors with their books, they do make the world a kinder, a better place. So
Right.
now I can use this skill I acquired and speak to an international market, not just the
Mhm.
Romanian market. So I translated those stories in
Oh.
English, from Romanian in English myself. And then I went to the London Book Fair, and I was hoping to meet a literary agent. And I talked to one, but she said, I'm interested in books that are more like spiritual oriented, not short stories.
Mm.
And still, you know, I realized I was kind of like running in a circle, returning in front of the same booth all the time, which was MP Publishing, so a small
Uh-huh.
publisher. And I said, what do I have to lose? And it is always important to look at clues, because we are always guided, and we get these clues. So when
Mhm.
something pops up in front of our eyes repeatedly, we need to
Right.
pay attention.
Right.
So I stopped and I said, are you interested in new authors? And they said, yes, we are. And we are interested in women authors, and we are interested in fiction for women. And my book was a collection of short stories, as I mentioned, and the working title was 20 Love Stories.
Mhm.
So that book ended up being Four Doors and Other Stories, stories
Wow.
about the different aspects of love. And
Mhm.
they gave me a contract like in 2 days. So,
Wow.
and that book got published in November 2012.
Mhm.
But for me, it was a big accomplishment, and gave me so much hope and trust that this is my path. This is something I can do. This is something
Yeah.
I'm here to do, and it was quite unique for someone, you know, coming from a foreign country to the fair, no connections in the industry, no literary agent, to just land the deal just like that. It wasn't like one of the big publishers, but still, you know, it was a traditional
Yeah.
publisher. So whoever tells you, oh, you can't do this, so it's impossible, you need to know this, you need to know this person, don't listen, you know, don't listen. Just cover your ears and
Yes.
just listen here to your heart. That's where you get the best
Uh-huh.
kind.
Well, nothing is impossible if you have the faith.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anything can happen. I mean, I love to listen to miracles because
Mm.
this is where you really understand that there's things you cannot explain. How it happened, I don't know, but it happened because it was meant to be.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when you, I don't like, I mean, like you, I don't want to listen to the idea that impossible, you can't do that. I don't want to listen to that because I also had some experience that I did not expect I could do it, but because it was meant to be, everything just happened, just like you have, you know? And so I always believe miracles happen every day. Only we don't pay attention.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
A lot of inspiring story happens every day. We just ignore it like, oh yeah, it's, but if you really think about it, these stories are really important because it gives us hope and it gives us the power to do more, that believing in ourselves that there's more we can do. We don't just stop here, right? So
Yeah, yeah,
that's really cool
yeah.
that you land on a contract and right there, even if you were told, oh, we don't want that, you know, at first, and then
Yeah, I know, but when I left, so when I got on the plane leaving Bucharest, I was so determined. I was like, no, I totally believe in this, and
uh-huh.
I will come back with something. I didn't know exactly what it was, but I said I would come back with something. I would return
Uh-huh.
home with something. So I returned with that. But yeah, you as you said, like faith is important, and then taking actions, because
Mhm.
uh, just sitting on your couch, it things won't happen. So if I stay
You'll
in,
gain
yeah,
big tummy.
yeah. So you need to take that inspired action. Let's talk about it. Yeah, inspired action. I
Yeah.
think it is. Yeah.
So when did it how long was it, the time gap between your first book and the second book you wrote?
Well, after that, I wrote another. I had more ideas for short stories, so I wrote more. I finalized the Romanian version of the book, which
Mhm.
was the English version has only 12 stories. The Romanian version has 21 as initially planned, and then I wrote another short story book, basically two books,
Mhm.
but I didn't publish my second book until 20 2015. So it took me another
Oh,
2 years,
why so?
because in the meantime, I had this, so I was still in Romania, and
Mhm.
I had this vision of creating actually a movement, and
Oh.
creating a movement of the warriors of the heart, warriors of love, and
Mhm.
reuniting artists from different walks, like music and dancing and visual arts, and creating performances together, and then touring the country. So
Wow, that's
I,
cool.
I focused on that, and then I traveled to Southern California in 2015. That was like a life-changing year for me, and when I returned to Bucharest again, I had this idea for a nonfiction book, which is this one. I choose love,
Oh,
journey
okay.
from fear to love.
Uh-huh.
And it was inspired by my realization that most of us live in fear 24/7. Fear because we might get attacked, fear that
Mm.
we'll run out of money, you name it. I mean, if you look deep
Yes,
down inside your mind, not the heart, because the heart is fearless,
right.
you see that there is something there. And when we are in fear, we cannot live our highest potential. We cannot feel the love. We are limited.
Right.
So the only way to reach our highest potential and love who we are and love what we do and love our life is to be in a space of love. So
Mhm.
inspired by my own journey, I wrote the book to help others take this journey.
Yes. Wow. Be fearless.
Yeah,
No
yeah, in a good
fear.
way. In a good
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah.
Don't be reckless, don't be stupid, sorry,
Right.
because women, we have this innate wisdom. I mean, if we
Mhm,
listen to it,
mhm,
we can go wrong. So we
mhm.
can't be really stupid.
Yeah.
But
Sometimes if ever we make some mistakes, I
mhm,
mean, it's not a mistake. It's like a learning
yeah,
uh, moment
mhm,
because that's how you become better. Because
yeah,
if you just do things and as if nothing is wrong, eventually it will caught up with you, and it's
mhm,
hard to make some changes, or it will take more time to turn it around. But
yeah,
as you journey and you make some changes or make some mistakes that you think is a mistake, they're actually just for you to see it better, right?
yeah.
And so yeah, that's why pencils are erasers.
That's true. Yeah, mistakes are stepping stones, and
Mhm. Right, stepping stones. Yeah.
but I guess it depends very much how we are, what happens in our childhood. Because I watched an interview with the first billionaire woman, the lady who is the founder of spandex, and
Uh-huh.
she said, when I was a child, my father was really disappointed if I didn't fail once a week. And he explained why: because by failing, you become better.
Mhm.
You realize that you need to learn something new and acquire a new skill. And by failing, actually, you show that you try something new that you weren't
Uh-huh.
prepared for. So, but when you grow up in a family, like, Romanian families were, some of them still are, where getting a poor grade was a tragedy, or, not being able to ride your bicycle without those additional little wheels.
Yeah.
The first time you wouldn't do it, that would be a tragedy. So
Mhm.
then people get scared of trying new things, and then they
Mhm.
get stuck in their little box and
Yeah.
comfort zone, and there's no growth.
Yeah, I think a lot of us focus so much on the wrong, like what
Yeah.
if, like, okay, if I do this, I really like to do this, but what
Mhm.
if,
Mhm.
it's not for me, or maybe I'm not ready, or we all have this what ifs, which doesn't really help,
No.
because the more you think about it, then the more you freeze.
Mhm.
So the best way, like you said, taking action is really important. Even though we're not ready, taking action gives you courage, gives you the ability to realize, hey, I actually can reel it this way, so become creative actually. So it's actually better to take action than just okay, I won't do it because what if.
Yeah, and then you will regret it, and then you will feel bad about yourself, because there will always be a voice in your head, in your heart, saying, "Hey, you can do this.
Mhm.
You can do this." So you feel like, I should have done that. And with this book, I never consider myself a personal growth,
Uh-huh.
transformational type of author. To me, I was always I thought I'm a fiction author, and I've been reading so many books, Wayne Dyer, Louise Hay, so Tony Robbins,
Uh-huh.
so many books. And, I was thinking, well, everything's been already put out there. So who am I to write a book, like this? So then, no, you have to write it. Somebody will
Right.
from it.
Uh-huh.
There
Yeah.
will be readers there
Well,
who,
that's very true. I want to point that out, just what you said, that, oh, it's already a book is already written about this thing. And I hear that a lot. A lot of people say, well, why don't you do this? I suggest to them, why don't you do this? Oh, I think people already do that, but yes, but just think about this. There's new generation, and there's so many people that may need help, but only a few are doing this. So you still have a chance to,
Yeah.
start your own journey. It doesn't have to be big right away, but just start something. And eventually you will find out what you are good at. And it's slowly. Sometimes, I would say sometimes I'm impatient too. So like,
Mhm.
okay, I want to get this done. But
Mhm.
then sometimes we need to be patient and let nature take its course, because if it's meant for you, even if you do, if you even sometimes when you don't do anything, but it will happen to you because it's meant to happen to you. And I've seen that so many times, like, you worry so much and then you don't want to take action, but your heart really believes in it,
Mhm.
and it
Yeah.
comes to you. It
Yeah.
will come to you. So life is good. We just think it's bad, but really life is good. Life is full of abundance, beautiful. We just have to shift our mind to
Yeah.
see that the abundance around you, because I too was like that before. I see, oh, okay, the problem, the problem, the problem.
Mhm.
And this is one reason too that I thought about this interview thing, because I can share, you can share, and hopefully we can help someone who is going through the same thing. Even just one person who's being helped by this conversation we have, that's amazing. Because I know you help one person is good, and then that person can help somebody else,
Mhm.
and then that person can help somebody else. So it's a chain reaction. That I love that idea. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was like, I see that you're really passionate about love. So because of that, I want to ask you this one thing: that what would light you up when I know you have love, but what are the things that would light you up in your day-to-day activity?
Oh, you mentioned helping other people. I'm really happy when, I did book marketing workshops, or, I don't know, help authors. And it really makes me happy when I help people. So
Mhm.
seeing their faces filled with joy and the smiles, like, okay, yeah, I got this. Now I can do this. Or, like when somebody reads my books and they say, wow, this book changed my life, or it made a
Mhm.
difference, or it can help me. So this is one thing. Nature. I love being outdoors. I love nature.
Uh-huh.
I'm a tree hugger. So if you see someone who hugging a
Oh,
tree, the person might be me. Uh,
is
um,
there a time to hug a tree, or what is the best time? I heard
oh,
about that.
it's
And
always a good time.
oh,
It's
okay.
never a bad time. And it's a really miraculous connection, because the mind comes down, and then whatever discomfort people
Mhm.
experience in their bodies, that discomfort might go away. Trees are our allies, and they're
Right.
really powerful creatures. Although they can't speak, they speak to us in a different way, not
Mhm.
using words.
Mhm.
um, Another powerful moment for me is when I sit in front of my computer, and I feel I'm connected to this, to the source,
Mhm.
to the creator, and we call this inspiration. So those words just
Right.
pour, just,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just a scribe. So it's
Mhm.
not my mind. When I write using my mind, I feel it's not good. It's not flowing. But when
Uh,
I'm in that zone,
right.
um, then I feel that I'm connected with everything in the entire universe. And that makes me feel, like,
Wow.
yes, I'm on my path. So I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Wow. That's amazing to be in a,
Yeah.
moment
Yeah.
like that, because there's so much distraction in this world.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I tell you, limit the time I'm on my phone, on social media. I rather be meet people in person, and that
Right.
is also something that lights me up when I connect with people who are like you, who are inspiring, who are empowering, who see the full half of the glass.
Like
And
like-minded people,
yeah,
where we
yeah.
want all this positivity, or
Mhm.
we empower, inspire other people, because yeah, I mean, if we can do that, how beautiful this world would be. To have people who are, you know, helping each other, you know, inspiring each other. That would be nice. I
And
wish.
I want to say that I haven't traveled the whole world, I mean, but I haven't been to Africa, for example, but I travel in Europe and here in North America, and then in Asia a little bit. And I realize, we all speak this language of love.
I was gonna say that. Yeah,
But
true.
I felt that connection with, we are at home everywhere we are,
Mhm,
because first of all, our body is our home.
mhm.
It is the home of our soul, and then our earth is our home. So
Yeah.
this whole, separation that comes from, we are different genders or races or skin colors, cultures. This is just, to me, this is just surface.
Hmm.
But down,
Right.
we are all the same. We speak the same language. I think we are all kind, like our nature is kind, is generous, is
Mhm.
loving. We just forget that.
Right, right, right. And
So
we should not. Like, one thing that I always see also, and I am also, see it myself when, how children, they are full of life. They are,
yeah.
always joyful, and they want to discover new things and have fun. And as we grow older, we tend to lose that. And that's
Mhm.
very sad, because no matter how old you are, you can still be a childlike, of course, with responsibility, but hey, you can still have fun. Nobody should stop you from having fun because you're old. Because it's a beautiful life if you put fun in it.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, fun and joy, and nobody can stop us from having that.
Uh-huh.
We are the one. That's when we get into our head all the time, that's what happens. So, you know,
Yeah.
um, we need to be,
Yes.
especially us women, we need to be in our hearts more and embrace
Right.
our femininity, our divine feminine, and hold space for the men in our lives to be, to be able to bring back to the surface their divine masculine, and be the hero, and be the man in the house, and not to compete with them. We are not competitors. We are supposed to work together as a team.
Yeah, yeah. We're like nurturers. We nurture a lot of
Yeah.
stuff, and
Mhm.
that's what we are. And, I mean, we can still be anything, but it's part of being a woman to nurture everybody, and that's why a lot of women too, like moms, tend to be on the sideline, because being a nurturer, you kind of think, you kind of just let go of yourself and take care of everybody except you. And we should not do that.
No, no,
Because
I
I
agree.
did that too. And I realized, no, 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 I'm gonna stop that and nurture myself too. And at the same time, I nurture my family, and I
Mhm.
need it too. It's not because we are nurturers and we just forget ourselves. So yeah, moms out there, please love yourself.
Yeah, yeah, yes. Because the more you love yourself, the more you will love
Right.
your
Yeah,
children,
you're able to share it
spouse, and
more.
everybody else. Yeah, yeah.
Right, right. So last thing I want to ask you is like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? What's your
Oh,
goal? I'm curious.
um, you know what? I in 5 years. this, and I have a private Facebook group. It's called Ambassadors of Love, because
Mhm.
I feel that we are all ambassadors of love. Why one way or another,
Mhm.
with a smile, a nice word, a kind gesture. That's a deed of love. So we become ambassadors of love. So my dream is to expand this project, the project of love worldwide, and gather together primarily the women. Well, men are welcome as well because they have a divine feminine in them as well, and they need the love as much as we do. But come together, create this movement, this community that basically spreads this vibe, this energy all around the world. So um, empowering women to reclaim their divine feminine and their loving power, which is their superpower, by the way. And then this is one thing, and then I would certainly love to create a publishing house, pretty much like Hay House used to be.
Ah,
I like to create something new because there are many young voices out there,
right.
20, 30 something people who have something to say, who
Mhm.
have so much to offer spiritual guidance. So I would like to create a space for these people to
Mhm.
express themselves as authors and be a reflection of the current times and of their generation. So basically carry the torch that
Right.
she
By the
keeps.
way, I just remember you mentioned about a workshop that you're doing. Can you tell us about it?
Sure. I have so upon request, I created a couple of workshops for women that are targeted towards exactly bringing to the surface awakening their divine feminine, their femininity.
Mhm.
One of them is called the Goddess Journey, and it's about a, your path to a loving and fulfilling relationship with yourself. And once you create that, then so you are in that space of self-love, then your relationship, whether it's a marriage or a committed relationship, will improve. And then the other one is about finding your life purpose, connecting
Mhm.
with your life purpose, building a meaningful career, doing what you love.
We
And then
need that.
I have a new book coming
Oh, you
out.
have a new book coming. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it came out on February 11th,
Uh-huh.
and the title is "Open Your Heart, Rise in Love."
Uh-huh.
Because we keep hearing this fall in love. No, love isn't something that bring us down. We don't fall in love. We rise in love. Our consciousness rises, and be
Yeah.
very mindful of your language.
Yeah.
Because words create our reality. So open your heart, rise in love, 6 secret doors to a happy and healthy relationship. The book is available on
Mhm.
Amazon, and it's about improving your or rekindling love in your relationship or saving the marriage, if that's the case, by basically improving the relationship you have with yourself
Mhm.
through, you mentioned earlier, faith, authenticity, conscious love,
Mhm.
sisterhood. So
Yeah.
these are some of the tools that you can apply to your relationship.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. So, do you have an age group that you are uh, wanting to reach out, or if you have an age group, who are you promoting this to?
Well, this book, the most recent book, and the other one, 5 Easy Steps to Ending a Toxic Relationship. I have it here, so that's that's at the opposite spectrum of
Oh,
the.
yeah.
So I think these are for like 30 plus women.
Mm-hmm.
But since you asked me where do I see myself in 5 years, I think teenagers and younger women who spend so much time on social media, and they compare themselves to other people, and then they change their body to look like other people. This is crazy. They need to learn this concept of self-love more than ever at an early age, because then their life will not be miserable in the future.
Right.
So I think this is a message that they need to hear, and I'm working, thinking, creating something that to target this younger audience so that they understand that their beauty consists in
Yes.
their uniqueness.
Yes. That's very true. And
Oh,
I just talked to a friend of mine who is a psychologist, and she told me that a lot of children nowadays,
yeah.
they're not talking because they were left home and then
Yes.
watching TV.
Yeah. Yeah. On their
And with the COVID, parents come home and they have to separate themselves, right? Because for fear of
yeah.
being
Yeah.
contaminating. So what happens is they have less time spending time with their kids. And the children just, okay, I'll just watch a movie and I'll just watch there and don't talk, don't think, just watch. So she find out that the number of children who no longer wants to talk is increasing every year. And that's really sad.
Yeah. It is sad.
You know,
I agree.
how is that going to, in the future, like they don't talk. And I teach also. I teach right this year I am teaching 10-year-old, 12-year-old. And when I ask them to speak, they just tell me, uh-uh.
No. Yeah.
I said, hey, you have a mouth. You have a gift, mouth. Okay, that's a mouth, but you can talk. How are you going to fare in the future if you don't use what you have? You have eyes, don't you? If you don't use your eyes, then you'll be bumping in anything, yeah, because you're not looking. So the same thing with the mouth. You use your mouth to talk, to communicate, to, be powerful, because words are powerful, but it's really hard to make them, talk. And that's really sad
Yeah.
to be in a situation like that. And hopefully we can do, little things and help them. That way our new generation will still be stronger, and they know they have power, they can do things, they can be better. And that's very important for our world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I agree. I agree. And with teachers like you, even, parents who are tuning in now, they might think about that, mothers, but,
mhm,
because teachers do whatever they can, but
mhm.
basically the parents at home, they are the
Right, right.
major
Yeah.
influence.
It's important for parents to,
Yeah.
the only time we see the teacher only sees the student for a few hours, but the children stays home with their parents. So just think about how much time you have with your children. You have to spend time uh, where you really connect with them. You don't
Mhm.
have to connect like 8 hours a day, but you, as a parent, me as a parent, I want to know or understand my child,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I'm the mother. And for me to communicate with my child, I have to really understand the child, and that way I know how to communicate with my child. And I know, I understand some parents are like people, working people, and it's hard, but we have to make time as parent, because the children are our future, and they need to be ready. And we are, as parents, we are our children's first teacher.
Yeah. Yeah. That's totally true.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, um How do people find you, by the way? How do people reach out to you, Andrea?
You can find me on my author website, which is, by the way, AG, so AGBILLIG.com. So AG
And I will
Billig.
post that. I will post that
Yeah, the
to,
link.
I will add that link to,
Yeah, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
yes.
So my pen name is AG Billig. I want to transition to Andrea slowly from AG because, you know, I kind of prefer my first name, my real first name. And then you can find me on Facebook. And by the way, if you go to my website, you can sign up to my love newsletter. So you will get some monthly love in your newsletter, in your inbox, sorry. And then you can find me on Facebook, AG Billig, and then on Instagram, AG Billig Author. And then I have a YouTube channel, but for now, I think if you go to you go to those places, that's enough. And my books are on Amazon.
Yeah, just let me know. You can send me the links of what you
Yes.
got and I will add it. So that way, when people want to reach out to you, they can, you know,
Yeah.
conveniently reach out to you. Because we know a lot of people needs love.
Yeah, we all do, you know, we all do. We all need we need health.
We
We
all
need to have
do.
these relationships in our life that are genuine and authentic, and we need financial security.
Yes,
Uh,
yes,
and we need to have this purpose
yes.
to feel fulfilled.
So thank you very much, Andrea, for this interview, and hopefully, and in positively, I would say, believing positively that we can help anyone, or we can help one person, anyone, or one person. That's fine, because it is a goal for this interview to help someone who may be going through this journey and has nobody to talk to, or just going through a rough time. And so
And
we'll see you again next
next time,
time. Stay tuned for our next guest.
and
And that's all
Angie,
for now. I want you to say last word.
yeah, I just want to say until next time, and until next time, until the next show. Don't forget to let love take you beyond your imagination.
Yes, I love that. Bye for now,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Okay.